G'day guys, C. My Shelley, the Aussie Geocacher, and today, that's right, today I am joined by a very good friend of mine, MattyRx. How you going, mate?
Hey, how are you, mate?
Good, good, good. We are here to talk about GPS points and averaging for coordinates, because Matty is one of the best. Wait and see. Take that off, it's way too hot in here. Anyway, today guys, we're going to talk about GPS points and averaging for coordinates. Now we're not going to talk about just my favourite, being an Apple iPhone, but Matty here, he's a man of many talents.
We have an Android.
We do.
And we have a Garmin.
Oh, a GPS. One of those old school GPS Garmins. Is it a Garmin?
It is a Garmin.
eTrex
10. Entry-level Garmin.
Look at the size of that thing. Anyway, I digress. I was contacted by a local reviewer in regards to a GPS averaging. A lot of new caches out there aren't getting the correct coordinates, and we need the correct coordinates in order to find these caches. I mean, you think about it, Matty. I'm not sure about you, but when I first hid my first one, it was out a little bit. I didn't know roughly what I was doing, and the worst thing I had was great container, great location, and the coordinates were like 20 meters out. You know what I mean? So that's not a good thing. So that's what we're going to hear today to talk about. Now, what are we going to start with? We're going to start with which device first? Which is your favourite?
We'll do your favourite. We'll do the Apple iPhone.
Yeah, all right, we'll start with my favourite, the Apple iPhone. So when we talk about caching, guys, we're actually talking about going to the location, sitting there relaxing, and you'll find when you touch the little toggle button itself, you'll find that it actually has a plus or minus of so many meters or feet, depending, and it'll start, maybe it starts at like 60 meters, like something stupid and huge, and then it'll slowly come in and in and in. It'll get down to like 10 meters, 12 meters, 10 meters, and then when it gets down to about 5 meters, is when I click yes and save. Now that 5 meters plus or minus 5 meters is its accuracy. And I find Cachely to be my favorite, and probably that's the reason why I start with it first. But there is another one called GPS averaging. This is again for iOS only, and this is given to me by the reviewer, and apparently this works really, really well as well. Make sure though, as we said before, as always with any device, the accuracy has got to be spot on, and really plus or minus 5 meters. You think about it, mate. When we go and find a cache, within 5 meters, you put the phone away or your device away, and then you look around. So plus or minus 5 meters is your accuracy. All right. Enough of my favourite. What's yours?
Let's go the Garmin.
This is about MattyRx. Tell us about the Garmin. Mate. How do you do it on the Garmin?
The Garmin is it works on a very similar principle. You go into your waypoint averaging function on here using your toggle. All Garmins have the same sort of function. Even the newer colour screen, touch screen, fancy ones, they all work the same way. Once you start waypoint averaging, it will take a coordinate every 5 seconds or so, and it will build up what it's called a confidence, how accurate it believes that is. And you pretty much can leave your GPS sitting at the site you want to hide your cache until that confidence is up near 100%. Then you can save it. Back in the old days, in the old school days, it was common to actually walk away and come back again and take another coordinate. Not so important anymore that there are so many different sorts of satellite constellations now. Once upon a time there was only the American GPS system. Take the coordinate, walk away, sit down, have a cup of coffee, come back, and you'll have something that's about 100% sample confidence, and you can use that quite accurately in listing your cache.
So you've used that obviously with hiding a few of yours.
That's right.
What sort of, on average, are we talking about here, like plus or minus in terms of your quality of coordinates we're talking about?
Well, I haven't had many complaints. I think the biggest complaint that you can get, and this probably happens with any device, but any GPS receiver, is if you're hiding something at, say, the base of a tree, don't put your GPS right at the base of the tree where the cache is going to go. Just bring it back 20, 30 centimeters, just so it can get signal from more than 180 degrees viewpoint. And
we'll talk about it later as well at the end of the video, the influencing factors that contribute to good coordinates and bad coordinates. So don't go anywhere. All right, Matty, what do we got next, mate? Is the Android.
We have an Android.
I'm an Android.
So Android phones are very very varied. The quality of the hardware varies between flagship devices and very entry-level devices. So that's a bit of a difference when it comes to iPhone. Most iPhone devices are very consistent. Androids can be hit and miss. Most GPS chips will work with all the constellations, so they're pretty accurate. So the best app that I've found for Android is GPS Point.
That's the one that actually the reviewers told me about as well, this GPS Point. And we'll put a link to that. Well, not the link, but we'll put the what it looks like just right about there as well.
Look at that. So this app here, with Android, you know, you do have to be a bit careful what you download sometimes. Some things are full of ads. This one doesn't have any ads in it. And it works very similar to the way a GPS would work. So you find your spot, press average, and it gets the accuracy down and down and down, closer and closer, and keeps averaging that waypoint over time, and then you can press stop once you're happy with it. You can walk away if you like, come back and do another one, and it will keep averaging on top of that. So it's a good app as well.
So it's very similar then to the old sort of the Garmins.
Very similar to the Garmins,
how
it works.
That's good. One more thing, mate, before we leave, and that is coordinates themselves. How are they written, and how does HQ/the reviewers like you to write your coordinates?
Well, there are a few different ways to write coordinates, and when I was at school, you know, we always wrote decimals, minutes, and seconds. But that has changed now, and it changed a while ago. It's a lot more accurate if you write decimals, minutes, and then the decimal minutes. And that is the format that you see on geocaching.com. There are other formats as well, and some people use them in puzzles, but if you want to list a geocache to make sure that it is accurate, use decimals, minutes, and decimal minutes.
And you know what?
Degrees, minutes, and decimal minutes.
And you know what though? the reviewers, guys, don't think they don't know. The reviewers, if you put in the not incorrect coordinates, but the incorrect way of the coordinates, the website will automatically change it for you. They know that where you've actually got your coordinates from. They know what Google Map coordinates look like, and you know what? You will get your cache rejected to say, look, go back there to the location and get your coordinates in your hand physically, not just off a map. So that's one of the big things, guys, and that is you have to attend the location in order to get your GPS coordinates. Do not rely upon, you know, Google Maps. It's not bad, but it's not good either. So yeah, don't rely on Google Maps. What do you reckon, mate? We're going to go out in the road and try these things, or what?
I think so.
Because that's one of the things is roofing and overhead areas and underground car parks, etc. Not good for GPS points. This way here will not get you in within 60 metres because we're inside. So got to get out in the sunshine, fresh air. Let's go, mate.
All right.
Let's go. Here we are in the outdoors, Matty. Oh, mate, have a look at this day. It's absolutely gorgeous,
nice, isn't it? Look at that.
Beautiful. All right, Matty, you've got a geocache, an actual official geocache in your hand. What makes that a good cache?
That is a good cache because, one, it's waterproof.
Yes.
It's not going to get wet when we leave out here for a few years. It's painted, a bit of camouflage. It's not a nano, it's not a mint tin. Yeah, got a logbook inside, a few swaps, and pencil.
And it's also labelled official geocache, which is a really good thing, especially for those like, you know, bomb disposal people, that sort of thing. But no, this is waterproof. And you noticed before what Matty said? He said it's going to last a few years. That's right. You've got to make sure you place these caches out there in the wild, knowing it's going to be a long time. You want these out there for a long period of time. You don't want to need to do maintenance on it. And this one here does. It's also got a waterproof seal as well.
That's right.
It's a seal of my approval. Anyway. All right. You've been waiting for it this whole video. Well, not really, but anyway. We've got 4 things that actually can affect your GPS coordinates. The 4 things. One is being...
close to trees.
The tree cover. Yeah, tree cover itself over the top of your head. Anything covers over the top of your head, such as tree cover. It could be like an underground car park, concrete, that sort of thing. It's no good for GPS points. Second thing would be
Buildings.
And we're not talking about building. We're talking about urban caching, like sides of buildings and like little things on the top. They're no good. Buildings are no good. So what I do on my favourite geocaching app, which is Cachely, again not sponsored, I put my map itself on satellite view. And that way then you can see the pinpoint a little bit more accurate than what you can the GPS coordinates. But anyway, apart from that, what else affects? So we've got tree cover and we've got buildings. What else we have? We have
power lines and electrical wires.
That's right, power lines, electrical wires. I've actually got a cache. A little quick story for those of you who want to wait. I've got a cache underneath these massive big power lines, and people say all the time, oh, my GPS is bouncing left, right and centre. That's my favourite part about it. But anyway, they can affect your coordinates. And last and definitely not least is
cloud cover.
Cloud cover, especially we're not talking light cloud cover like a day like today, you know, a few clouds going by. We're talking heavy cloud cover, guys. We're talking thunderstorms and lightning, very, very frightening, oh my. Those sort of things we're talking about. So they're the 4 things that can affect your actual GPS coordinates. So make sure you get your GPS coordinates right. Make sure you use the correct format of GPS coordinates, and everyone will be happy. Those finding the caches, the reviewers are going to be happy, and Matty,
Gotta keep them happy.
and Matty knows all about keeping reviewers happy. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. First time watching, want to subscribe and click that little bell so you get notifications every single time I do a new video. And a big thank you and very proud thank you to MattyRx himself, the man from Northern Rivers, New South Wales. As I said, if you come up this way, make sure you find his caches. I'm over and out. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Fly.